Hey guys, Grant Collier here, personal trainer and fitness guy for the past 20 years or so. So I'm at Forest Gym today and I'm giving you 6 tips on how to blow up your chest. This is going to go for all chest exercises, not necessarily just the machine fly, but keep your chest up. Now, what I see quite a lot, of course, is as the exercise gets more difficult, people tend to bring the elbows up and round themselves over, the chest drops down, and then they come back, they get a stretch. And then they round it over again. It's all on the shoulders, all on the arms. What you want to be doing is making sure that this position where the chest is up stays up the whole time. Bring the handles together. Nice controlled back down. Again, keeping that chest up, even as it gets more difficult, making sure you keep the chest up as high as possible throughout the whole exercise. This is going to keep tension on the chest constant. It's going to keep the time under tension nice and high. And of course, time under tension is what's going to help produce you more chest gains. Now this one is kind of related to the first tip and the next tip as well. However, it's just on a different exercise, it's a slightly different emphasis. And that's the elbows going too high on your chest pressing movements, not necessarily just your flies. Now, as things get difficult, again, something you will see quite often, if I'm in a good position here, the elbows come up and it's the shoulders and the arms that are taking all of the weight. What you want to be doing is taking your elbows from this position to that position. This allows you to move the weight through the chest muscles, takes the tension off the chest, takes the tension off the chest. That's something we don't want. Taking the tension off the shoulders and off the arms a bit and really pacing that strain across the chest muscles. Here's a tip for making YouTube videos. If you're going to put your glasses down somewhere, make sure you there they are. Now another factor that can impact your chest development is going to be the width of your hands when you're doing certain exercises, be that the machine chest press, dumbbells, or the bench press like I've got here. And I'm going to go over how I would take hold of the bar. I'll show you a couple of other things that you can do, but I would say aren't quite optimal, let's just call it. So generally when I'm going to take hold of the bar, I'll start shoulder width, and I'll show you just now. Generally, shoulder width. And what I'll do is I'll go about half a hand width on either side out, if not a whole hand width. And I find that is my perfect position, like so. Now, other options you have, of course, is going wider. Now, problem with going wider, which I'll demonstrate in a second, is it puts you in a more vulnerable position for pec tears and injuries, but it's going to limit your range of motion, which, as we all know by now, range of motion is almost king. I say almost because there's other factors, of course, but it's almost king. So I'll take an extremely wide grip just to really exaggerate it, but if I take hold of the bar and I go as wide as possible, the only movement I've got in the exercise is this. And that's really not going to do much. And of course, because my chest is already in a very vulnerable, very stretched position, it's getting no support from my arms, my triceps, my shoulders. So it can put you in an awkward position in order to bench press. The other one, of course, is going far too narrow. Now you've got the opposite effect here, where there's very little chest involved at all. It's all on the triceps and the back of your arms, and it takes chest completely out of it. So you want it wide enough so you're going to work chest, but you don't want it so wide that you're going to be just doing this. I find that's a good starting point. Just start shoulder width, slightly wider, maybe a hand's width, half a hand's width on each side, and that should be about right. Now, when it comes to your cable flies, now admittedly this isn't how I would normally do them, but for the demonstration this is going to be best. Now, what I have seen before is as someone is doing chest, in fact, let's lower the weight a bit. There we go. Now, when I've seen cable flies before, what I have seen in previously is as someone gets tired in the exercise, they will start to round their shoulders off just to complete the repetition, and their chest will lower down. And this is maybe slightly exaggerated, but that tends to happen. And what you're doing is putting all the weight in the shoulders and you're crunching it over. Now, one way to try and help avoid this is as you get to the top of the exercise, make a V shape with the handles. What that does is it takes you from going into this position as you come over, bringing the shoulders over the top, and it forces you, see how my shoulders lower down as I make that V shape, it forces you to bring more chest into it. At the top, or even right the way through the exercise, see how my shoulders stay down, I squeeze, and the shoulders are staying low all the time, and I can't possibly bring my elbows up or my shoulders round without bringing my hands round. So as you're doing the exercise, bringing it down of course, make the V shape at the top, keeps it all on the chest and allows you to relax the shoulders. There are things you can do to push your chest training a little bit further, you know, intensity techniques. You've got drop sets, you've got rest pauses, partial reps. When it comes to chest, I'm a big fan of doing partial reps, especially if you train on your own. It's not what I'd recommend on a bench press, but machines and dumbbells are fantastic. When you can't complete a full repetition, always keep it controlled, always get that stretch. But by bringing it up just as high as you can, bringing it nice and slowly down, get the stretch, going for another repetition, just go as high as you can to the point where there's really not a lot of movement going on. That can be a great way to extend a set and put more intensity in there. Not ideal when you're doing a bench press because of course you're completely exhausting the muscle with the barbell over your chest. Even with a spotter, it's not ideal. The other option you have, of course, if you're doing flies or if you're doing a machine chest press or even dumbbells, is you can do drop sets. They can be fantastic for just pushing that chest a little bit further. Kind of the last thing to look at in terms of chest, I would say, would be the programming or your sort of workout program. Now, if you find you have a heavy shoulders and triceps day, the day before your chest workout, you might find that your chest exercises are going to suffer, especially if you're doing chest press, bench press, incline dumbbells, all these kind of pressing movements that your shoulders and triceps are really going to suffer on, especially because they were worked the day before. So my suggestion would be make sure you get your chest in either with those muscle groups or have chest before those muscle groups. Chest is one of those muscles that it takes a little bit longer to recover than triceps and shoulders. So you can generally get away with having chest on one day and then even the following day having shoulders or having triceps. But if you do triceps and shoulders the day before you do chest, you're really going to suffer unless you maybe pre-exhaust with cable flies first and then do pressing movements afterwards, but not what I would recommend. So my recommendation on that is do chest with shoulders and triceps, or chest and shoulders or chest and triceps, but never do your shoulders and triceps the day before your chest workout. Wow, I think I went up a cup size just making that video. Guys, if you like the video, like and subscribe. Every like and subscription is much appreciated, and I will see you in the next video.